Hey guys, Mason here. Welcome back to The Sweet Spot, where I create delicious desserts that you guys can follow along with at home. As always, the full written recipe and list of ingredients are down below in the description box. Also, while you're down there, if you want to join the family, click that subscribe button. You'll get 2 new videos every week. And we're going to be making my take on a buttermilk pie. We're going to be using brown butter and some brown sugar to amp up the nutty flavor of this. So if y'all want the recipe, stick around and we'll get started. Alright, to get started, we used my all butter pie crust. You can find that recipe in the first video from Pie Month. I'll link it, it'll be up above. Just click the little I button and you can go right to the video and you can watch how to make the pie crust and then come back here and we'll make the rest of the buttermilk pie. So I had one pie crust ready in the refrigerator already and I just rolled it out to 1/4 of an inch to fit my pie pan. My pie pan is 9.5 inches. I know it's a little odd. Most pie pans come in an 8 or 9 inch. So just roll it out to fit your pie tin and then cut it down to fit the size. I love that you can see all of the little butter pieces in the crust still because those are going to melt when it's baking in the oven. And oh my God, is it not divine? Now, after we get that rolled out, we're going to crimp the edges, and this is just a basic crimp. I use my 2 pincher fingers and my forefinger or my thumb and form the triangles to crimp around the edges. Super easy. It isn't perfect. It does look rustic, but it looks very homemade. And to me, a homemade pie looks better than one of those perfect pies that looks like it came out of the freezer section at your local big box store. Alright, after we get it crimped, we're going to place our crust back in the fridge for 30 minutes. This will prevent shrinking when we bake it off later on. Now while that's in the refrigerator, we're going to go ahead and mix up our filling for our buttermilk pie. We can also preheat our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So to get started with the filling, we're going to cream our brown butter that's been cooled to room temperature. If you want to know how to make brown butter, it's actually in my very first video that I ever posted. Now my videos have gotten better since then, but the method is still the same. So I'll also leave a link to that up in the little, click the little I up above. We're going to add our lemon juice, our buttermilk, and our almond extract and get these fully combined together. Now, it'll be okay if the mixture is not smooth here. We're going to add our eggs in after this, and we can ensure in that step that it is nice and smooth. We're going to add our eggs. I was trying to be fancy here. I did the first 2 normal, and I thought, I'll do the third one one-handed and show off. I'm stupid. Anyway, just put all your eggs in the bowl. I find that it's a lot easier if you pre-crack them just because you've gotten so far in this mixture, you don't want to crack eggs and get bits of eggshell in the mixture. So I just think it's always smart to pre-crack your egg. And then we're going to mix this for at least 2 to 3 minutes. We want everything to be nice and homogeneous and smooth. Alright, and the last thing we're going to add is our flour. This will just help thicken up the pie when it starts to set. Alright, now that we've gotten everything mixed together in our filling, we're going to pull our pie crust out of the fridge, pour our batter into that, and then bake this off for 50 to 60 minutes, depending on how hot your oven gets. Check it at the 48-minute mark. Oh my God, you guys, look at that wobble. This texture is so creamy. It's very much like a custard. If you've ever had a custard pie, it's very much that. It's just got a nice tangy flavor from the buttermilk and a nice nutty flavor from the browned butter and the almond extract. What do you guys think? Oh my gosh. The way that this custard sets up. Now you can eat this warm. Now, you can eat this warm. You definitely want to let it cool down when it comes out of the oven so it can finish setting. Actually, the center of the pie will have a little bit of wobble when you pull it out, and it'll finish baking through and setting up once you pull it out and let it cool completely. It's so much better when it's cooler, nice and cold to me, but to each their own. Now the buttermilk gives this a nice tang, and you want to get good quality buttermilk. You don't want to get that nasty fat-free buttermilk. I don't understand the point of that. Now you also get the flavor from the almond extract because we did add a whole teaspoon. I like the nutty flavor, that's why I browned the butter and I used brown sugar to caramelize the pie a little bit more. So I think you all really like this. If you give it a try, try my recipe. Go from there, add in your own kind of spices that you want to add and try it out. Make it your own special version of this pie. That's what's great about so many Southern recipes. There are a lot of written instructions, but there's room to kind of play around with it and make things your own, which I love. And growing up in the South, I've always looked at baking as an art because it is something that you can make your own, you can personalize it. I know a lot of people, when I think of certain people, I think of a recipe that they make or a dessert that they make. So I love that. This is really one of those desserts that you can do that with. That's all we've got for this week, but don't forget to join me next week for 2 more wonderful pie recipes. From my home to yours. Enjoy.